Since its inception in 2011 as the official body representing football players in Malta, the MFPA has persevered in its mission to protect the rights and interests of its members. This year, we are celebrating an important milestone, our 10th anniversary as members of FIFPro, the worldwide players' body. 10 years that have seen the MFPA grow from humble beginnings to a respected organization, constantly evolving and expanding the range of services and support programs for our members. It was on 27 October 2014 that the MFPA was approved as a full member of FIFPro at the Annual General Assembly in Tokyo. Earlier that year, we hosted the first edition of the MFPA Awards with midfielder Paul Fennick, who played for Birkirkara FC at the time, winning the MFPA Best Player Award. Another initiative which has since become an annual appointment is the training camp for out-of-contract players, held every summer to help players prepare for the new season while enhancing their prospects of signing with a new club. Joining the EU UEFA Task Force in 2015 represented another step forward for the MFPA as we intensified efforts to introduce minimum requirements for standard contracts of professional players in Maltese football. Following the introduction of a tailor-made medical insurance policy for players in 2012, we embarked on a strong campaign on the safety and well-being for footballers, emphasizing the importance of adequate medical services and facilities at our stadia. Raising awareness about the plight of match fixing has also been on the MFPA agenda for several years. This ongoing drive eventually led to the introduction of the Red Button app, which enables football players to report a match-fixing approach anonymously. While continuing to invest in new projects and initiatives, we remain fully focused on our top priority, the abolition of transfer fees for out-of-contract players. Jean-Marc Bosman, the former Belgian player who successfully challenged the transfer rules system in 1995, raised the profile of our cause by attending the 2016 MFPA Awards as a guest of honor. This was also the year the MFPA launched the Cry for Help petition, which called for the removal of compensation paid to football nurseries for children and youths. The journey continues. 3 years on from our affiliation as full members of FIFPro, the MFPA was entrusted with the organization of a prestigious event, the 2017 FIFPro European Congress, which was attended by over 120 delegates. Advocating a dual career pathway for footballers has been a priority for the MFPA. The Life After Football program, first launched in 2017, offers educational opportunities for players to further their knowledge and academic competence. This program has been consolidated over the years with the MFPA partnering up with local and foreign academic institutions to increase the portfolio of courses offered to football players. Strengthening our legal and administrative assistance programs, a pivotal part of our daily work, the MFPA, with the support of FIFPro, successfully represented Maltese goalkeeper Jurgen Borg at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. In what can be considered as a landmark decision for Maltese football, in January 2018, CAS ruled that there was good and just cause that warranted the cancellation of Borg's contract with his club at the time, overturning a decision that had precluded the player from registering with a new club. Since 2011, the MFPA has represented over 1,000 players in front of the MFA Complaints Board, FIFA Dispute Resolution Chamber, and the Court of Arbitration for Sport. The removal of salary capping for professional football players employed by Maltese clubs was another key development, vindicating the unwavering efforts of the MFPA. Following the launch of the first strategy paper in 2015, the MFPA unveiled its second strategy paper for the period 2019 to 2022, on to 2020, which will be remembered for the unprecedented challenges brought about by COVID-19. Like every other sector, football was severely impacted by this global pandemic, with the ensuing restrictions creating serious difficulties for both players and clubs. Faced with this scenario, the MFPA did its utmost to assist through a series of initiatives. These included the distribution of COVID-19 prevention kits to the local clubs, online training at-home sessions and nutrition programs for players, and a scheme that covered the costs of ECG for players who had tested positive for COVID-19. Low-earning players struggling with accommodation issues due to the premature termination of football competitions were also helped by virtue of a financial support scheme. 2020 may have been an incredibly difficult year, but it was not all doom and gloom. It was the year our unstinting efforts to abolish transfer fees for out-of-contract players came to fruition, finally bringing Maltese football in line with FIFA regulations. A game changer for present and future football players in Malta. While the abolition of transfer fees for out-of-contract players represents the greatest achievement for the MFPA to date, our resolve to pursue further improvements for footballers at all levels remains as strong as ever. Another positive development was the removal of compensation payable to football nurseries for young players changing clubs at the age of 15 and 19, respectively. For the first time, the association successfully represented the players forming part of the women's national team setup in negotiations with the Malta FA, culminating in the signing of the first MOU covering the technical and sporting conditions of the players. In line with our social responsibility commitment, we have consolidated our long-standing partnership with Frame Football Malta, developing more online tools to facilitate access to our services and benefits. We launched the online MFPA members platform. This was further enhanced with the introduction of the Report Abuse online tool. Free sessions on first aid, mental health, and doping are regularly being offered to clubs to raise awareness among players, coaches, and club administrators about these important topics in football. Targeting retired players, the first after-career consultation program was held between 2021 and 2022, with 10 former Maltese footballers taking part. 2021 saw the creation of the first MFPA Player Council, which brings together active players from different categories, including the amateur leagues and the members of the MFPA executive. In October last year, we published our third strategy paper for the period 2023 to 2026. This strategic plan was based on 5 pillars: education, players' health and well-being, women in football, services to players, and strengthening the association. More positive news for players in the MFPA came in October 2023 with the amendments to the domestic training compensation regulations. No compensation is to be paid when a player signs his first professional contract if he is at least 26 years of age. In recent years, we have also upped the game in the communication and social media areas, introducing new initiatives such as the MFPA Player of the Month for both male and female players, the MFPA Best 11, and Fans Player of the Week. Thanks to these efforts, we are reaching out to a wider audience, further increasing recognition for the efforts and feats of football players. It has been 13 years of hard work, 10 years of active participation and contribution within FIFPro, over 500 paid-up members, many challenges faced and overcome. We are grateful for the trust and support of our members and stakeholders. We are humbled by our achievements, but we remain fully committed to our mission. The MFPA is by the players, for the players.